Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Svetoslav Atanasov, the General Manager of Coca-Cola HBC for Serbia and Montenegro. And today we will hear a presentation about sales, but also some facts and detailed information about Coca-Cola Hellenic company. Mr. Atanasov comes from Bulgaria, where he started his career as a management trainee in 1999. So we will also hear a story about his career path and the different roles he has taken on within this company. Mr. Atanasov, we can start now. Thank you very much for supporting AmChamps program and for being here with us today. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Just if I can understand, if you can hear me.
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, great. And I hope everybody else can hear me. Very happy to be here with you today. I'm not going to overdo the intro. Just to say that if you have any question at any point of time, please feel free to raise it, to interrupt, and let us clarify it on the spot. The presentation from me will take something like 35 minutes. And after that, we'll have, I believe, a proper time to address Q&A, questions, answers. But also, at the end of the day, this session is mainly for you. So there are some kind of initial talking points that I'm having, but feel free to ask anything that might be of interest to you, that might be useful to you. So I cannot encourage you enough on that area, and I'll be super happy to share to the extent I know. If I don't, I'll come back. Very happy, as I mentioned. And thanks to all of you for joining. And I would like to thank AmChamps for the opportunity. So so that's the agenda. First, I wanna present our company a little bit, who we are. Then I'll talk a little bit about my career journey with the Coke company, Coca-Cola Hellenic company, 21 years. Then I'll talk a little bit how we take customer centricity in our company, in our daily life. And then there is something like a teaser here, open like never before. And of course, then we'll go to the Q&A. Now, so first I'd like to represent Coca-Cola Hellenic a little bit, and that's our socio-economic impact. I would say fresh from the oven. Please keep it for you at this moment. It's not yet officially shared. Results are coming up as we speak. So we're a company that is supporting nearly 290 million euros in value added across the value chain in Serbia. So this is not directly only, but the entire value chain. And hence, we are supporting 0.6% of the GDP of Serbia as a country. So you see there 1,700 direct and 14.3 thousand indirect jobs. So here, one job that we employ within Coca-Cola Hellenic is supporting 8 jobs somewhere else in the economy, or down the value chain or up the value chain. Then you see there 76 million in value-added tax for the state budget, 139 million in margins for the retail sector, our customers, and 93 million invested in purchasing of goods and services across Serbia. You see here, we are working together with the Coke company anywhere across the world. Here, if I may, Coke company are usually having the direct responsibility for brand management, communication, and as well as sustainability, quality control, while we are the partner of the Coke company that is doing the production, the distribution, full logistics, sales, marketing at the points of sale. Here you see the logo of Bambi. Bambi joined our family last year in the month of June. So the results that you see below are representing both, actually the three companies: Coca-Cola Hellenic, the Coca-Cola Company, and Bambi. Now, moving forward, you can see our portfolio in beverages. I hope you can see it, yeah? Okay, all cool. You can see our portfolio in beverages. We're having more than 400 SKU is the abbreviation of a stock keeping unit. So one article number is one SKU. So you see we're playing in different categories in beverage. SSD stands for sparkling soft drinks, and you see there Coke, Fanta, Sprite, Schweppes. You see water. We're selling Rosa in the Serbian market, as well as Romerquell, sparkling water from Austria. Iced tea, we're having Fuse Tea as a brand. In energy, we're having Ultra Energy as well as Monster Energy. And since very recently, we're having also Coke Energy. Plant-based dairy, we're having a brand called Ades. Juices, next is our brand. You see there in premium spirits, we're working as a distribution partner for 4 brand principals. The most famous brands in our portfolio are Jack Daniels, Finlandia Vodka, Campari, Aperol, and we are a partner with Heineken in a distribution agreement for beer. So our portfolio, you see there 24/7 in the top right corner. What does it mean? We are a company that aspires to be a 24/7 beverage company for our consumers and for our customers, which means we are having relevant proposition 24 hours a day, from the moment the consumer wakes up in the morning until no matter how long the day lasts. You see that we are also having the spirits and also promoting the mixability 7 days a week. Moving on, I mentioned Bambi, and here I'm pretty sure that you know the brands very well. I'm not going to present much about Plasma. Plasma for sure you know better than me. But also it's good to have a look at the new brands coming up, like Wellness. I would say Yosh is coming. There is also Plasma Kocka. Plasma Sticks is not on the screen, but also quite some very exciting and delicious, tasty innovations that are happening. Now, our values. We're having 6 values which are guiding our way forward in growing times, in challenging times. These are the values that we are grounded around. So no matter how challenging or how easy it is, this is what brings us together. I'm not going to go through the definitions much, but you see us winning with customers, nurturing our people and talent, excellence, integrity, learning, and performing as one, being our guiding light. And I have to say, this was something that happened as a result of a work with all the people across Hellenic, all the levels, something like 10 years ago. These were values that were surfaced by the people of the company, for the people of the company. And this makes them quite precious. Now, this is who we are as Hellenic. I'll present myself briefly and how I've been growing in this company. Before I go there, you have seen on the values page our people. So beyond the brands part, strong brands, the strong portfolio, 24/7. The other very key characteristic of Hellenic is about growing, developing people. And I'm putting here what was my journey. I would say as a proof of that, and as a proof of all the support that I've been getting throughout all these 21 years. Now, a little bit of a career line was already mentioned. I joined as a graduate trainee back, I still remember it like today, 15th of March, 1999. And with a profile in sales and marketing. And then beginning of 2000, I joined the marketing team. So all this first cut is 6 years of marketing experience, going more or less through all the different positions in marketing. And then I decided that I'm looking for another challenge. I wanted to learn something different in order to become a better marketeer. This was back then my thinking. So you see there the start of area sales manager in 2006. I'm making a pause to see if there is a question, or simply it was okay. I go on. You let me know if there is a question. Then area sales manager. I joined the sales team. So from a marketing team of relatively small number of people, where I could learn a lot about strategy, could learn a lot about managing the brands, promotions, new products. I moved to the sales team, area sales manager position, with responsible for 50 people and making these marketing plans happen on the ground. So quite a useful learning in terms of how things are really happening on the shop floor, but also quite a useful learning about leadership and developing people. And then 2 years later, I came back to marketing as a marketing manager. And here, we call this a function head position. So this position is reporting to the general manager in our company. I'm describing this because what this position gave me was strategy at a higher level, strategy for the company, while at the same time building on the experience that I was having in my previous roles in marketing as well as in sales, making things happen on the ground. I've spent 3 years in that role. Here, I would say, besides the areas I highlighted, I would also say was quite useful in developing collaboration. Here I mean collaboration with the Coca-Cola company, collaboration externally, outside. So this gave me quite a lot of learning. And then 3.5 years down the road, I moved to the sales manager role for the country. And here, the role was about 500 people. So from 15 to 500. So the challenge here was what about the sales strategy? What about delivering these results day in, day out? Developing and motivating this team. And overall, actually, responsibility for the overall results of the business unit. 3.5 years later, I took over as a general manager in Bulgaria. This was middle of 2014. And here, a clear responsibility for all the functions in the business unit. Roughly 1,000 people is the operation. And a lot of learning there, a lot of new learning. All the functions, I had to learn very quickly about supply chain, which means manufacturing, means logistics. And I had to learn a lot about public affairs and communication, external stakeholders, partnering externally. I found out that this is an area that is sometimes the most important area in business, something that I did not know before. Long story short, clearly strategy for the business unit level, external partnership, external relationships, developing the people now of the entire organization, but not directly, creating the environment for the people development of the entire organization. And then 4 years later, which is end of July 2018, I joined the Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo business unit as a general manager, and that's my current role. Now, if I can do a quick summary of what you see here, these 21 years, I would say these are 11 positions. All my career has been passing through that 11 positions for 21 years. So this is roughly a couple of years per position. A lot of learning. Each one of these positions has been quite a different one. Has been offering the opportunity to learn different things about technically how you do stuff, but also leadership-wise, especially when I took over responsibility for strategy as well as for teams. A lot of time between conceptual, strategic, as well as people leadership. All of this giving a lot of different perspectives. So I would say sometimes I'm regularly getting the question, 21 years in one company, isn't it becoming boring, or is it best for development? I would say when you have on average every 2 years a different position, and every position is bringing new content, new challenges, the learning is there. So I would say as long as there is learning, which is provoking your curiosity, it's like you rediscover your company with every single position. The other thing is, even when you see general manager, one operation, general manager, another operation, these are completely different jobs. Completely different jobs, no matter that the job description is similar. The culture is different, the portfolio is different, the competition is different, the markets are different, the challenges are different. Also, you can say 4 years in one position, for example, if I take the general manager position in Bulgaria. I just can say that 2 years down the road, after just when I thought that I am learning and I understand everything on that role, we launched coffee. Coffee also became part of our portfolio. So a great opportunity to learn about a very different category, which is now helping me in my current role as well. And here, from one country, Bulgaria, moving to 3 territories like Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, moving to a different portfolio. There was no beer in the previous role, so I'm learning about beer. Also, the acquisition of Bambi that happened 1.5 years ago that I mentioned offers an opportunity to learn for a completely different category. So even within every role, there is opportunity to learn every single day. So what is the very common thing across all these 21 years is constant learning, constantly going out of comfort, reaching out, and I have discovered that this is the best for development. The career steps, I would even call them in a way technicality of a constant learning. Now, what stays behind? What are some things that I feel like sharing with you that were kind of things that were all the time with me while going through these 21 years? The first one is never forget where you started from. So these would be my tips actually. So never forget where you started from, and I think this is critical for a leader. And here, when I say that, I'll give one or two examples. The first one is in the organization that I was working with. I'm used to know the names of the people, something like 70% of them at least. And this is due to the constant connection with the names of all the people across the organization, across the layers. And this is also because I think one should never forget about the people that supported him or her in the journey. And I can tell you, while preparing for this presentation, I've been thinking through these different roles that I showed you, as well as I've been thinking through the different leaders that I worked with that supported me on this journey. And I can tell you one thing: I know each and every person that I worked with and how helpful, supportive, and what this person gave as part of my development. And I'm super thankful. And not necessarily only leaders, but the teams. You can get a great support from your leader, but without team and colleagues around you that you collaborate with and they support your learning, you can never get to higher roles or to higher learning. The second thing is, let us look at the different perspectives. Before we make a conclusion, we need to be mindful of the different perspectives. Things are not black and white. They're not black or white. You have seen my career journey going from marketing to sales, from sales to marketing, one GM role, another GM role. And this has given me the lesson to have a look at the different perspectives that are around the table before making a conclusion and before moving on, and appreciating all these different perspectives. Everybody has a view, and this view is equally important on our way forward. Very frequently, there are contradictions in business. The typical one is between marketing and sales. Usually, marketing are saying, we're giving these beautiful, great promotions, and the sales are not executing them. Sales are saying, these guys from marketing are giving us promotions that don't necessarily work. They don't understand the market. Well, actually, it's not so easy. It's not so simple. It's about understanding the perspective of the other person. It's about constantly looking what is this other perspective, because only through this you can have a good full picture that is going to make the decision even better at the end. And also, I would say this collaboration is also meaning that sometimes you might need to compromise. Understanding the other perspective and saying, oops, since you have a better point than me, I need to step back. Having the patience to look at the different perspectives allows you to make these type of things. And the more you go up in your development, the more you learn to appreciate these different perspectives. So moving on to development. Here I'm talking about people development. I'm a great believer in that. I would not be here if there were not people around me that were believing in people development too. And one thing that I can say is developing people is never quick, but it's always worth it. Never quick. You cannot expect that people will be developing or learning super fast. Usually it takes a bit of time, and that's normal, and that's okay. There will be also challenges on the way. There might be mistakes on the way, and that's okay, and that's normal. and giving the people the patience when there is a mistake happening, and giving the support for them to continue in their journey is also okay. Of course, we need to learn from the mistakes. That's the condition. And I have seen this happening day in, day out. To give you an example, a plan for development of a person can be between 3 to 5 years on the way ahead. I would not advise longer at a certain point in time. And a leader should have the patience, 3 to 5 years at least, to see a person progressing 2, sometimes 3 roles ahead. So this is what I mean. But one thing, we should never be giving up on this. When I say about us caring as a company about people development, these are part of the things that we do in our everyday life. The power of collaboration, I already mentioned about this one. And here, I just want to tell you one thing. Working collaboratively, working closely with peers, with colleagues, is really adding between 3 and 5% to your revenues. Just good collaboration is increasing your revenues in the market by 3 to 5%. I heard that thing like 15 years ago by an external consultant, and I said, come on, how can you calculate precisely that good collaboration can bring exactly 3 to 5% to your revenue? And the person back then responded, yeah, this is based on history, based on real life examples. Believe me, it's true. Well, I can tell you, based on my own experience now, 21 years down the road, that it's absolutely true. Collaboration can really bring very tangible business results. Now, and the last thing I want to mention is about stepping into big shoes. Critical for development. When I say stepping into big shoes, always challenging yourself to learn something new, something different. The bigger the shoes you go into, the faster the learning, the steeper the learning curve. It's more challenging, it's more difficult, but the steeper the learning curve. Although it's challenging, believe me, it's worth it. It's worth it because this is accelerating the development not only as leaders, as professionals, but also as human beings. So, quick summary of everything that I showed you. I just want to mention one thing that was coming across all these 5 areas that I spoke about. And this is walking the talk. What I mean here is, you can say walk the talk, you can say lead by example, or you can simply say, do what you say and say what you do. But most importantly, do what you say. There is nothing, I think, more important based on my own experience in the development, in working and motivating and developing people than do what you say. Of course, these are not universal truths. I'm sharing my perspective. I'm sure that each one of you in your journeys so far, in your life journeys so far, are having your own 5 or maybe 4 or 6 things. The only thing that here I'm sharing my perspective and I'm asking you, it's a very useful exercise. Think about yours. Think about yours. I really believe it's super, super important for self-awareness, for really getting to know yourself better. And I can tell you, knowing yourself better is a critical element of your development. Now, I hope you can still hear me. It's not easy in the virtual environment, so help me out if you're still with me.
Yes, we are. We can hear you. We can see your presentation.
Super,
Everything
thank
is
you. Thank
super.
you. Moving to the customer centricity part, or a little bit of things that we do as a company, prioritizing customers in everything that we do. First, that's Serbia, and in Serbia we're having 3 regions. We're having North, Belgrade, and South. We are, you see there on the map, the number of outlets in each one of our regions. 7,500 in North, 11,000 in Belgrade, and 11,400 in South. And we are visiting 83% of all these outlets. These outlets are having our assets. Might be a cooler, might be a different point of sale. We visit 83%. And you see below, we're having 3 regions. So 3 regional sales managers and 8 area sales managers across Serbia, with 49 supervisors reporting into these area sales managers, 243 business developers. We're having also 70 beer dedicated business developers responsible for our beer portfolio, 64 merchandisers, and 20 telcel operators, telephone cell operators. Now, while I'm showing you this page, this is how we start our customer centricity journey. We start by mapping our customers. Everything starts there. How many customers, in which channel, and then how are we visiting these customers? What job are we doing working together with these customers? And what can we do better day in, day out together with our customers? Everything starts from here. So that's my key message from that page. This is the split of our volumes. 40% is organized trade and 60% is traditional trade. We see the organized trade growing as importance over the last years. And we have also seen now during the pandemics, organized trade growing by 3 percentage points within the mix. So it became more important. And below, you see some things that are very, very important and that are our guiding light when we work with customers. You see there, listening to our customers. It sounds super easy, but sometimes very difficult to do. Listening is a key thing in order to be customer centric. Listening and hearing, taking this input from customers and acting. Anticipating our customer needs. I mean, sometimes it's very simple. Sometimes it's about listening to understand. And then anticipate by also looking at the consumer trends in the market. When I say customers, one thing that is very important, in our business, we are differentiating consumer with customer. Consumer is the person that is drinking the beverage as the end consumer, while customer is the supermarket, is the grocery, it might be even food service aggregator, it might be Glovo, it might be Donesi. So when I say customer, I mean all these retailers that are between us and the consumer. Then our ambition to be a 24/7 beverage partner. About 24/7 I mentioned when I talked about portfolio. But here the focus is on the word partner. We are growing together. We cannot be growing alone. So whatever we do, we need to make sure that we are adding value to the business of our customer. That's a critical element. Then cross-functional end-to-end customer management. If we don't work well cross-functionally within our operation, we will not be able to provide the best experience, the best satisfaction of our customers working with us. We cannot be working separately amongst departments and functions. Then something will go wrong. And of course, agile service, being fast, adapting whatever is happening outside in the external environment, being it COVID, being it competition, or being it specific change in customer needs. Moving on, We are also segmenting the market. You see here the first most basic segmentation, fragmented trade. These are the groceries, might be corner shops, mom and pop shops, sometimes we call them, but groceries. On the go, these are the kiosks. Horeca, these are cafes, restaurants, kafanas, all these outlets where the consumption is happening on the spot. And organized trade, that usually the modern trade, the national key account customers. You see there a picture of Maxi. I'm not going to go in detail below. The key thing that I wanted to mention here is, in order for us to be able to respond to the customer needs in a tailored way, we need to segment. We need to, as much as possible, segment, and then we need to even respond on customer basis and tailor our plan and our activities on a customer by customer basis. This is what customer centricity is for us. Well, a reminder, I showed you at the beginning one of our values, our 6 values, but then let me now again zoom on what customer centricity is for us. So you see here, we provide best-in-class service to our customers. We create shared value every single day for every single customer by caring and addressing every pain point. We actively listen. We actively listen to understand and then co-create plans with our customers. And finally, we all sell, perform as one, collaborate seamlessly, internally, end-to-end, but also with our customers. Only then we can be a trusted partner. Only then we can be customer-centric. So we should not be internally focused. We should be externally focused, starting with consumer and customer. Now, in pandemics, I would say has been I would say new reality, different reality that has put a challenge on many things, as well as on the customer centricity. But I'm very happy and proud to say that this guiding principle that we're having, this value called winning with customers that we're having, has also led us to very quickly reshuffle and adjust to the new reality. And these are just a few examples from the last months. What are we doing differently in the case of the pandemics? So the first one you see there, our salespeople are our heroes. They've been visiting customers every single day. Every single day. These are the 270 plus business developers that I showed a couple of slides before, and the 70 beer business developers, together with the supervisors, area sales managers, visiting the customers, and every single day with the appropriate frequency of visits per channel or per segment, reflecting on the customer needs and providing the appropriate support. Then Horeca channel, the outlets in the Horeca channel were in lockdown. They were shut down in April. We know that, I think tonight at 6 o'clock, they'll have to close down again for working hours between 9 and 6, if I remember well, in Serbia. So this channel is suffering, is losing traffic, is losing revenue. And it's quite an important one for us. And we've come up with a very, very holistic program to support our customers in this channel to recover fast from the consequences of this shutdown. Then supporting wholesalers and the direct customers that we're having through stock and credit management. We have seen that because of some customers being closed, some of our goods went close to expiry or expired in the warehouses. We went there replacing this product. So we didn't leave our customers alone. We gave them a helping hand. Also, because the revenues with our wholesalers went down, we extended their days of credit. to make sure that they have a helping hand in our joint business. Then I go down to e-commerce channel development. E-commerce was very, very small, I would say, in Serbia back in March. But it started booming. And we were also advertising there. We gave a helping hand to support this channel develop. We were activating there. We were doing cross promotions with this channel, promoting in order to help it deliver to the new business opportunity, to the expanded business opportunity. And these are just a few examples of this are coming up every day for us. Now, this is where we are, and the sea and the ocean is quite stormy. And what differentiates is that the storm is normal this year. It's just a matter of how big the waves are coming, how big they are. One thing that I can say, sometimes we don't take the time to stop and reflect because we are trying to steer through the storm. But I can tell you one thing. I have seen all these 6 values that I presented in real life. And despite the stormy sea, we've been holding to the values that I showed you. They've been helping us steer the ship. But also, we've been having quite some success and quite some resilience throughout. Now, we should remember how the world looked like before the pandemic started. Sometimes I have the feeling that, when was that? I mean, it looks like this was 10 years ago or 5 years ago, or it doesn't matter. But let's remember it was only 9 months ago, 10 months ago. And I wanted, related to that, to share with you something, a campaign that we started 2 months ago. And it's called Open Like Never Before. And when the pandemic broke out, and as anybody else, we seized, took a pause and reflected. And we paused the regular activities to rethink what it is that matters to us most. It was clear that nothing is more important than the health and well-being of our employees, of our customers, of our consumers, of our communities. So when we decided to go back on air with advertising, to go back to what we do the best, which is advertising and activating in the market, we decided to share a message with the world. We decided to share a message with Serbia. One that would inspire us to dream, to feel, to change how we interact with the world and consequently change the world. Our message was titled Open Like Never Before, because it demonstrates our determination to play a vital role in our society and connect for a greater good. Here, I wanted to mention, we as a company, we as a system, have always been having a social role as well, I believe, and I'm very proud of that. From the very existence, from the very emergence of this brand, Coke, back in 1886, we've always been having also a social position in a lot of cases, and this is one of them. And it consisted of a set of inspirational messages, this campaign, that I'm sure that you have seen across the city. Let me put it on for you as a reminder.
Stop. Wait. Who says we have to go back to normal? Back to anything? What if the new normal ain't the normal we knew? And we can't just do what we'd formerly do? What if the biggest change is you and me? What if we choose to be open and say, I will never call my job unimportant again. I'll never say that teachers' holidays are too long, or that school is dry and I can't wait to move on. My ears are not my earphones.
What if I listen?
What if I'm missing how bright your eyes glisten? What if I just smile a bit, travel less and love every mile of it? What if I believe in the change my cooking, my music can do? Hey, what if I don't dance, but just for you, I might give in to the rhythm soon. What if I refuse to be a stranger in my own living room? And I'll learn my lesson from a bad memory. And I'll keep social distance from bad energy. And I'll prove that funny be sexy any day, but I'm still cute anyway. What if my dreams never take the backseat again? What if I'm there whenever you need a friend? What if I celebrate my skin, my body, my hair every day, even Mondays? And I stand by every word I say. I'll make my vote count, make my voice heard today.
You know what?
I will never
say the city has too many tourists again.
I'll lead like a woman. I'll have a family of dozens. I'll give my little nephews and nieces some cousins. I'll stay right beside you. I'll say yes, I do. See, I'll never forget how much stronger we are together. I'll carry that in my heart forever. We did it. We weathered the storm. So I'll be open like never before.
Hope you liked it. And I just wanted to mention there were also other things happening behind the scenes. We have worked hard to support our customers, as I mentioned, primarily those ones from the HoReCa sector. We have organized for them webinars in this new virtual reality to amplify their voices, to support them in their business. We have organized campaigns together with HORES. HORES is the Serbian Association of the HoReCa sector, to certify outlets, safety in outlets. So we were giving certificates together, which outlets are following the personal protective measures and it's safe to go there, safe from COVID. We have created an advertising generator for them and offered free digital space to our customers to advertise their outlets, their business. We have offered free Coke. There was this campaign, First Coke is on us, to HoReCa to support outlets in bringing consumers back throughout the summer months. And now we have kicked off, we started 2 critical milestones in our support by offering free of charge HoReCa application, again for advertising their outlets, customized to meet the needs of the HoReCa customers, and on top of that offered everybody a top-class educational program where they can upskill themselves for jobs of the future. So we are connecting on online platforms and applications HoReCa owners, managers, as well as HoReCa outlet personnel, waiters, bartenders, so that they can connect and they can be helpful to each other, personnel to find jobs easier, but also upskilling, improving further their skills and be more competitive in the market. So you see that it goes beyond selling or marketing a Coke. It goes into the social space as well. And we plan to continue working on it. You have heard me talking about customer centricity today. This is a customer centricity in its essence, truly connected with our purpose, which is bring togetherness, spread happiness, and inspire a better future. And with that, I just want to say a big thank you for the opportunity. Big thank you for listening to me. Again, big thanks to AmChamps. And let's now go to the most important part of the day. Please, for your questions.
Maybe I can start with one. Branislava.
Hello, Branislava.
Just to say thank you to the great presentation. And you were mentioning that you're constantly learning by changing the positions. But can you just tell us what was your biggest challenge or the biggest impression when you changed the position from GM to Bulgarian operation to Coca-Cola Serbia and Montenegro? If you can pick one challenge or one biggest impression from that switch.
Thanks. It's a great question. I think you made it hard for me. It's tough to pick one.
You can choose more.
Yeah. Let me try to mention. Yeah. Okay. Let me try to mention the top ones. I mean, the first one is although both countries are kind of next door, culture is different. So I think learning, understanding the culture, adapting your way of doing to the culture is one of the the biggest challenges for a leader. That was one. The second thing is from one country to 3 territories is bringing a different level of complexity. So there are three territories and 2 currencies. So there are two of the territories are in euro, the other one is in dinars, and then you're having also a currency risk to manage. Before that, it was a country which was with the exchange rate which was pegged to the euro. So there is this complexity of 3 territories, 2 currencies, which means also 3 different plans, 3 different marketing plans, 3 different execution plans. So very, very different, very dynamic, more complex. The other thing is about the portfolio. I didn't know about beer. I had to learn about beer. And then Bambi comes on the table. So it's confectionery snacks. You need to learn about confectionery snacks. Yeah, these would be the top ones, yeah. Help me out if I answered. If not, please, I mean, do a follow-up question and I'll do my best.
Thanks, Dan. You did.
Thank you.
Maybe I can ask one question. You mentioned how important leaders and your colleagues were during your career path and how important that was for you. But did you have a mentor? Did you have someone who was your mentor, and can you describe that relationship to us? What was the most valuable thing you learned or you have now from that relationship?
Yeah, in my case, thank you first for the question. I think it's a good one. I think that's a great support for any person to develop, having a mentor. That's my view. I didn't know that at the beginning of my journey. In my case, I didn't have a one mentor throughout. I don't have such a thing. And I didn't have a mentor in the early stages of my career. I started having a mentor most probably when I took over leadership positions. And I would say critical support. Usually a mentor is somebody with more experience, more knowledge, different perspective. And also another thing that I wanted to share, sometimes people think, hey, the more you go up in the organization, the more you know, so the less you need a mentor. Sorry to say, but according to me, this is bullshit. I think a person needs a mentor no matter which level in an organization this person is. Why? Because the mentor is not there necessarily to tell you what to do. Very frequently, a mentor is there to give you a different perspective, to challenge your own beliefs and your own perspectives. Everybody needs that. Even I would say the higher you go in an organization, the more you need these different perspectives. And here I would say, I would even recommend people to work with more than one mentor. just to get more perspectives before they take their decision or before they take their steps. As we speak, I'm reaching out to a couple of mentors. And, you know, in these couple of situations, it's kind of formalized mentoring, but nothing prevents anybody to reach out for advice to a colleague, to a person at the same level, to a buddy, just to say, hey, what do you think about this? And I think in modern leadership, this is happening more and more, and without this, it's very hard. And this learning there is in a way for free. I mean, it's becoming so complex out there. The speed is getting faster and faster. Reaching out to bounce back, to check a perspective, to get a view. I mean, sometimes you can reach out to a friend, to a colleague, to a person having similar challenges and say, okay, what would you do? And then you share back. These different perspectives, I have seen them working and supporting a lot the development of a person. And also, I would say a good combination or a good balance. So somebody who is higher in the organization can be supportive. Somebody at the same level can give a different perspective. But a good balance between quantity. Okay, you cannot go 10, but 2, 3 people that can give you a different perspective, I would always recommend. I have seen this super helpful. Also, let's not forget that the direct boss is playing the role of a mentor. We should not, I mean, I think this relationship with the direct boss sometimes, you know, it's a bit tricky. Oops, this person is, you know, looking, are you doing the right things? Are you doing well? And in a way, this is a bit particular relationship because you need to deliver. And then you need to demonstrate that you're delivering results, etc. Well, this is one role of the direct boss. But the direct boss, I mean, if the direct boss is good, also is having the role to develop you. The direct boss knows and is owning also your development and can act as a great mentor too. Now, this depends to how good, transparent, open relationship and collaboration with the direct boss one person establishes. But there should be such, because then the opportunities become even more for learning, for developing, and for support. So I would encourage this one also to be utilized on that question. Just help me if I answer, Tina, or...
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question, if that is okay.
Hi, Velko, of course.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, first of all, for the presentation. Throughout your presentation, you mentioned that you started working in marketing, and then eventually you did a little bit of sales and a little bit of you know, supply chain. So as someone who is just recently graduated and is looking to, I guess, explore all the different things within a company, which one would you say for you personally was the most fun or the most rewarding? Which one do you personally like the most? I mean, which department? Yeah.
Yeah. Tough one. I'll tell you why it's tough. Both were great. I mean, that's why it's tough. It's different, you know. If I look at the marketing piece, well, over there, you really think brands, consumer. You think how to develop promotion, what new products, strategy. You're thinking way ahead. You're trying to anticipate. So there is this type of challenge that is over there. When you look at sales, it really requires leadership. It's about leading people. Big part is about leading people, big teams of people. But to start with, the most important is about customers. It's about going there, getting to know each other, working together, creating value together with customers. So it's a more external view. It's about collaborating with customer. it's about discussing, negotiating, but also how can we make the pie, the joint business pie, bigger, the joint business cake bigger. And then on leadership roles in sales, it's about the people development, it's about the motivation. And also it's about creating this strategy, these things that I mentioned about how many customers, how do you segment them per channel, per territory, how you create then the execution plan and the execution strategy. So it's very different. What I can say, both are, to me, both are equally rewarding. Both are equally rewarding and gave me a lot. And you know, if it was not for these jumps from one to the other, I would not be sitting here in front of you today in my current capacity, in my current role. I think these helped me about these different perspectives I was talking about. That's one. You ask me where would I start, or which one would I recommend? This one, you know, Velko, this is very individual. I would tell you, man, go with your heart first. But then on the way, challenge yourself to go different places and explore, and always be curious to learn. So this would be, it doesn't matter where you start. If you're having this, I like here because of this, I like here because of this, where do I go? Take it emotionally with the heart. But then after, learn. And the moment you see yourself not learning as much, try to push yourself to move so that you accelerate the learning.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question, if there is still time.
Yeah, Mirjana, I think there is. Unless, yeah, I think we have time. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for presentation. My name is Mirjana. I would be interested to hear your opinion after such a long leadership experience and role. And I'm sure that you have been to also some other crises, not only the COVID crisis, but the COVID crisis is for sure unique in its sense that it's, let's say, common for the whole world. So in your opinion, what will be the new skills in people that will be now more valued, or the areas of expertise that will become now even more important after the post-COVID, in the post-COVID business era, let's say?
Yeah. Thanks. Great question, really. Look, the thing is, in a crisis, what is happening usually is that the environment is changing. Simply, the environment is changing, and it might be, you said it rightly, one might be pandemics, the other thing might be economic crisis. I mean, whatever there is. So when the environment is changing, usually consumer behavior is changing, or highly likely the consumer behavior is changing. This is impacting immediately the customer. In our case, because we are business to business, our customer is changing. But also not only for the moment, the trends might be changing on the way ahead. So in terms of skills, the first thing that I would say is be curious, look outside, be externally focused to spot these changes very quickly. So that's one thing, and this in a way sounds so simple and so obvious, you know, but sometimes very difficult to do.
Yes.
So be externally focused, be curious, look what's happening. And the second thing is try to predict, because in a crisis it's very dynamic. Things are moving up and down, right, left, center, very quickly. So try to the extent possible to see, hey, where this might go. That's the second thing. Another thing is, well, even if you do your best on these first two, you might not get it right the first time. So try, go ahead and try, take a risk, and start what you had in mind at this moment. Start, take a risk, but learn quickly. Maybe you need to change course. take the risk and learn quickly. Adjust quickly. So speed is the other thing that I would recommend. These four things are standing out. Now, I go back because also, I mean, I believe you are all preparing for future leaders. As leaders, I would say something specific for a leader in this situation. Usually leaders are perceived in the old-fashioned way as the authority that knows everything. I think we need to forget about this concept. My view. Every one of you is there to form your own concept, but we need to forget about this concept. Because especially in times of crisis, who knows? Very few people know, and majority don't know. You see governments, you see business leaders, you see across the globe. If somebody would know everything, it's obvious that we are all finding our ways. Now, as a leader, you need to stay very open to all these four things that I mentioned, but also to your team. Because your team is out there, the people that you work with on the ground. And sometimes they know better than you. Hey, be open to admit it to yourself and listen. Listening is with customers. Listening is also with the team of people that you work with the colleagues around. This would be the fifth one that I would add to that one. I don't know if I answered exactly what you meant by the question.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, if I may go, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
So you mentioned even during the presentation and now how important it is to anticipate the market, the needs, and listening to customers and consumers. So I was wondering, how is that done in Coca-Cola? So do you guys hire some external companies? Do you have teams? What are the parameters that you're looking at? So practically, how it's done?
Look, we're reading as well. I would say to a big extent what everybody can read, what's happening outside. So what's happening to environment, to customers, to trends. We're reading a lot in that area. What's happening to the life of people? What are the changes? What's happening in the society? Then how is this impacting the consumer behavior? So there is a lot of reading of things that are publicly available. We are also very attentive to what governments are doing, what governments are saying, also what customers are doing and customers are saying. We try to be on top of this every single day. So that's one thing. We're having even a dedicated team or dedicated teams that are doing this. So research, we're having commercial excellence team, for example, that is analyzing trends, is bringing data, surveys. We're having ad hoc data for market shares. We're having also data for consumer sentiment, brand love, this type of stuff. But also this question that you ask is going beyond, do you have a department or a role that somebody is doing? It's going to way of living, the way of behaving. So everybody needs to be open to this type of trends and this type of things in their own area. For example, sales, they're meeting customers every day. And the customers are a fantastic, maybe the most amazing source of learning. In a conversation, looking around, you can immediately see what competition is doing. Customer is telling you the pain points. Telling you. And then as long as you're there to listen and to hear and to very quickly pass this information to the different people within the company that are taking the decisions or are shaping up the strategy. So that's one example. Marketeers are looking at consumer behavior, competition, and are coming up with promotion or new products that are making more people buying more often. for more money. And then every promo or every initiative is measured on these things. How frequently do consumers buy? For how much money? And what are we achieving with all these promotion, new product launches, etc. So they're having a different element of the perspective of what's happening, and they're bringing it on the table as well. So I think it's combination between science and art, if I can put it like this. The science part is surveys that we're having, what we read, looking outside what's happening. The art part is working together when each one of us is getting all these data points, sitting around the table, discussing and crafting our plans on the way ahead. So I think it's combination of the two things. But yes, we have analytics, which is roles, department. This one exists, but also I would say everybody has that. Everybody has that. I think where the magic happens is when the art comes into play, and the art is about the curiosity, the external focus, the learning, as well as working together as a team.
I understand. Thank you.
If I ask you one thing, which is, well, a lot of you know our brands, our products. What would be the 1-2 things you want to tell me that we can do better?
I have one comment, perhaps focusing more on health trends, because you know Coca-Cola itself is usually tied to unhealthy way of living, so perhaps something in that direction.
Okay, point taken. Look, I think you're bringing a very important topic. You're bringing a very important topic on the table, and that's something that we are really mindful of. Because of the sugar content in our beverages, mainly. So what I just can mention 1-2 things that we are doing in that area, and this doesn't by no means we should not do better and we should not do more. One thing, I guess you know that we are expanding the range of beverages that we are having without sugar. What I mean here is not only in sparkling beverages, we're having Coke Zero. We brought Coke Zero Lemon, Coke Zero Orange. This year we brought a couple of Schweppes flavors without sugar. We call them Schweppes Lemonades, Schweppes Lemon and Schweppes Orange. All these are without sugar, but also this portfolio that we're expanding. For example, we're having Rosa in our portfolio, water. We're having Romerquell as a sparkling water. Sometimes there might be a concern around carbonation. That's why you've seen a lot of beverages without carbonation. So that's one area on the portfolio. And another thing is about the different sizes, because this point that you make, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily sugar. It's about the calorie intake. How many calories is a person taking? So different sizes can help every consumer to select and to have, in a way, a portion control of how many calories you're taking, depending on what pack size you're buying. And the other area that I wanted to mention, a lot of this is about awareness, helping the consumer to make informed choice. So this is this can, or this is this bottle. How many calories are inside? You need to know. Every person needs to know, because we have responsibility for the calories coming in the body. And then usually this topic is very much in the balance between calorie intake and the calorie burnout. So it's about the calorie balance, or the intake and the burnout. That's the reason why the choices are very, very important. So we do drop in these areas. We need to continue. We need to continue supporting our consumers, helping them understand, but very also transparently show them on the label. If you see every of our labels, we're showing exactly what is in every single bottle. Thanks, Sunchita. Thank you for the comment.
Thank you.
Well, if I can ask a question regarding this, for us who prefer Fanta over Coca-Cola, why is there no Fanta Zero on this market?
I take your question as feedback. This is what I can say. The one thing might be the right time to bring it if you put the question. One thing, this zero sugar market or segment is still quite small in Serbia. It's just to give you a perspective, within the colas, where we have now Coke Zero, Lemon, and Orange, as I mentioned, the zero sugars are 7 or 8% of the total colas. 7 or 8%, it's quite small. And that's the key reason why we don't have it in Fanta yet. Now, you might challenge me, and most probably rightly so. Well, why don't you bring it? Maybe it will become bigger. Well, and that would be a fair point. So I take your question as feedback. We're also this zero thing, we brought it under our energy drinks category. I don't know if you can see that's one of our energy brands. Ultra, which is zero sugar, that's Ultra Mango. So we brought it this year, in the last 3 months, into the energy with Ultra. We brought it under Monster brand as well, with Monster Ultra. You know, let us work a little bit on your question about Fanta.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you see chat?
Myself?
Yes. No.
No, I cannot.
Okay, we have
Is there a question there?
Yes, I will.
Can you help me read
Yeah,
it?
sure. What about some recycling initiatives in our region, especially Serbia, protecting the planet by reducing plastic waste? I know Rosa water has more degradable plastic, but what about Coca-Cola and other beverages? And aluminum can recycling spots around cities, perhaps?
Great question. That's a very hot topic and a very important topic for us. One thing that I wanted to share is most probably you know that the government is putting, in coordination also with European Union, targets for recycling and recovery of packaging, exactly in order to reduce the impact on the environment. And these targets are growing year on year. Every single year, the packaging recovery and recycling targets are growing. And today we're doing that through recycling and recovery organizations. We are customers of one which is called SecoPack, and we're increasing, as I mentioned, the percent that we recover every year. Now, your question was about increasing the recycling and recovery material, more recoverable or more recyclable. That's something that will come more and more for us as well. We'll be more and more active in this area. Not only in PET, which is the plastic bottles, but also in aluminum cans, as you mentioned. To name a few, over the next years, you're going to see us going into recycled PET, using more recycled PET to produce our bottles. So that's one. We're going to drastically increase the percent of recycling and recovery of the bottles that get disposed. We will try even these bottles not to get disposed through exploring different systems, like deposit recovery system is something that we are going to, as we speak, we're evaluating together with the rest of the industry this aspect. Also, we're looking at every single innovation that is going to help us on that. For example, currently there is one technology, most probably you know it. When you open the bottle, the cap stays attached to it, so it stays here on the side. And then you close it. And then when you drink your bottle, the cap is not going somewhere else. It's still one. This makes it easier to collect and then take care of this bottle. Actually, the answer to the two questions is yes, we will do more. This will be an area, not only us, but the entire industry, food and beverage industry, and not only, will be addressing with big priority within the next 5 years, 10 years. And we've already went out as a company and spoke public about our commitments in this area. So the whole industry will develop there. Well, we have the humble ambition to lead this journey. So stay tuned, we'll do more. We'll do much more, although we're already doing quite something. Great question. It was not actually a question, it was in the section of even suggestions. And I said that we can do better. Okay, thanks. I don't know, Tina, how you want to take it. It seems we don't have so far questions. I don't know if there is something on the chat.
No, nothing on the chat.
And what I can say, what I can suggest, look, guys, this doesn't finish here. If any questions, please find a way through AmChamps or I don't know, most probably directly. My contacts can be shared with the colleagues. Reach out directly and ask. Feel free. At the end of the day, this whole program with AmChamps is a journey. And now I'm changing hats. If I can, on behalf of AmChamps, we are here for you. Not only me, but all my colleagues from the board and the rest of our members. Let us know if you need us. We are here for you. Use us as mentors, as with questions or whatever you feel like. A priority for us is to support you in whatever way we can in your development journey. Let us not make it something that stops here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.